Hey, Alex, good to see you. So, I've been seeing a lot of chatter about Nvidia and this huge, like $500 billion commitment they've made. It just sounds absolutely wild, especially when everyone's talking about an AI bubble. What's going on there?
Stella, it's truly mind-boggling, right? Nvidia is like throwing down 500 billion over the next 4 years for something they're calling AI factories. And when you hear factory, you naturally think, GPUs or chips. But nope, it's something else entirely. These aren't just regular data centers where companies rent space. No, no. These facilities are specifically designed for one thing: producing what they call tokens for large language models, or LLMs like ChatGPT. It's really the lifeblood of current AI.
Tokens. So, it's not about like storing files or traditional computing power then. It's literally just generating these intelligent units almost. That's quite a pivot.
Exactly. Jensen Huang, Nvidia CEO, has been on like a global tour talking to heads of state because he sees these AI factories as, well, fundamental infrastructure, just like power grids. And it's not just Nvidia either. You've got OpenAI with Oracle, SoftBank's building Stargate in Texas, and Goldman Sachs is estimating investments this year alone could hit $200 billion. Morgan Stanley even says we could see $3 trillion in data center spending by 2028. It's a gold rush for sure.
Wow, that's just a massive scale of investment. But, when you talk about gold rushes, it always makes me think of like bubbles. Are we walking into another .com bubble with all this excitement? Because it seems like everyone's just throwing money at anything AI related.
You're hitting the nail on the head, Stella. It really does feel a bit like that. In fact, a recent MIT study titled The GenAI Divide, State of AI in Business 2025 found that only about 5% of businesses actually see rapid revenue acceleration from their AI integrations. Most are falling flat. And it's not about the quality of the AI models themselves, but more of a learning gap in how to integrate these tools into existing enterprise workflows.
So it's like, companies buy the fancy new tech, but don't quite know how to actually make it work for them at scale. Like, I'm thinking of Intel's huge factory blunder years ago.
Precisely. It's eerily similar to Intel's Fab 42 in Arizona, which they built in 2011 for $5 billion, expecting continuous PC market growth. But PC sales stalled, then declined, partly because existing PCs were good enough, and Windows 8 was, well, not exactly a hit. Intel ended up shelving that factory. Nvidia's current bet is like 100 times bigger than that. It's a huge gamble on sustained exponential growth.
That Intel comparison is really sobering. But even if the AI market itself isn't a bubble, aren't there like fault lines developing for Nvidia specifically? I've heard whispers about their own customers trying to cut them out.
Absolutely, Stella. That's a huge developing story. Their biggest customers like Amazon, Microsoft, and Google are all designing their own custom AI chips. Amazon's got Trainion and Graviton, Microsoft's building Maya and Braga, and Google has its TPU chips. They want to tailor hardware for their specific needs and, cut costs, which makes sense when you're spending billions.
So that sounds like a big challenge. Where does NVIDIA's dominance come from then? I always hear about CUDA.
Right, CUDA is the big moat. It's NVIDIA's proprietary software platform, and it became the industry standard for non-graphics GPU programming years ago. Engineers really prefer it because it's seamless, letting them leverage NVIDIA's GPUs easily across different hardware. However, this dominance is attracting scrutiny. Regulators in France, the EU, and even the U.S. Department of Justice are investigating NVIDIA for potential anti-competitive practices. And venture funding for competing AI chip startups has dropped dramatically. So it's a really complex situation. For more deep dives into the world of AI and tech, make sure to visit franksworld.com. It's been online for 30 years, an amazing resource for staying informed.